This is my girl Heidi. I'm so excited to be interviewing her today. She's a NLP practitioner, a healer. She does hypnotherapy and so much more. Again, I'm so happy that we're doing this today. So part of the reason I started doing this is because there's so many different healing modalities and healers out there globally. And how do you find out what's out there and does what and what you even want to tap into? So, yeah, if you want to just take the lead and tell us about some of the things you're working on and your history with everything and everything, I love you. So it's your turn. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much, Trish, for having me today. Oh, I like my main jam is hypnotherapy and NLP. I absolutely love it. It's my passion, it's my purpose, and it is just absolutely incredible how working with the unconscious mind can create such great conscious change. And a lot of the time you don't even realize that it's happening because you're allowed the unconscious to do all that amazing work. And it's just a beautiful gift, a beautiful modality that I'm so blessed to be able to guide people and facilitate people on healing, learning, growing, creating the best versions of themselves. And that's the essence of all that I do, is allowing people to create the best versions of themselves in whatever capacity that is for them. So whether it is working on self-love, self-care, anxiety, depression, really, really bad habits, releasing weight, in whatever shape and form, like healing physical pain, performance, whatever that is for that individual, creating the best version of themselves, we do it. And I'm so blessed that, I can work worldwide with what I do. So I'm very, very grateful.
So I know a lot of people have heard of NLP and obviously hypnotherapy. What does NLP stand for? And tell us more about like hypnotherapy and like, do you hypnotize people?
So NLP, well, the beautiful thing about hypnotherapy is everyone is self hypnotizes themselves on the daily. So before I just dive into a little bit about hypnotherapy, I'll answer your first question about what NLP stands for. And that stands for neuro-linguistic programming. So it's communicating, with your neural pathways in a language that you understand to create a new program as such, to create that change within that is, not serving you anymore. A lot of people like suppress and have so many negative emotions that they're holding on to. For example, how many people out there say, I hate my life? How many people out there have said that? A simple way of changing that is reframing it and saying the complete opposite. I love my life, just by doing simple reframes, from the negative to the positive, saying the complete opposite. You're creating a new neural pathway. And the more you tell yourself that you love your life, the more you are going to literally love your life. And there's many, many techniques with NLP, so many different levels. So
I feel like
so that's just a little sample.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do unconsciously say stuff like FML or I hate my life, or they don't even realize what they're saying, So like really to like identify like, okay, what do I communicate every day to myself, to others, and what can I reframe to have a better life? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so with hypnotherapy, that's another style of unconscious work. And hypnotherapy changed my life years and years ago. And, that's the reason I became a hypnotherapist, because I had, in my life, I was stuck in my own rut as such, in my own negativity, having trouble to move past the grief from losing my mum and then becoming a first-time mum. That was a real challenge for me. And I had a friend that said to me, and for this particular friend to say something to me, I'm just like, oh man, I've really got to do something about myself here. And so somehow along the line, I stumbled across hypnotherapy, and I'm just like, oh yeah, because I was looking for someone else to help someone else. Anyway, so I started checking out. I found a hypnotherapist near me, and I was like, all right, I'm going to give this a go. And my first hypnotherapy session, I was able to move forward from the grief of my mum. Like, not saying that I wasn't still grieving, but it made the process a lot more effortless. And, I flowed through it with a lot more ease. And I also let go of a lot of childhood trauma as well. And that first session, it was like the weight had literally been lifted off my shoulders. And so that was absolutely amazing. And I've been a fan of hypnotherapy ever since. And so I did a program, and then I just went off and on my spiritual journey and just grew, and always learning, always healing in some way. And then 10 years later, my dad passed away quite tragically. He went missing out at sea and never returned, and still to this day we've found nothing. And so hypnotherapy came in for me once again and allowed me to move through the process. But during that time, I think maybe about 8 months after Dad had been gone, I was in a rut myself, and I was thinking, I knew how powerful hypnotherapy is for me and how it worked. And I had a lot of people say to me, Heidi, you're so strong. How do you get through your days? And I had a conversation with one of my clients, because I've been on and off again like a Reiki energy healer, because I am a Reiki master. And she said to me, what, because she had lost her husband, and she's like, Heidi, I just don't know how you get through the days. And I'm just like, why don't you try hypnotherapy? And light bulb moment came down for me, like a download. I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? I have, for the past 10 years, I have been recommending everyone else to go do hypnotherapy. I'm going to become a hypnotherapist. So that's what I did. I decided to become a hypnotherapist, but little did I know what that hypnotherapy opportunity was going to open up for me. The expansion that's happened. So hence here we are talking today.
Yeah. You've done so much for me personally too, like being such a good friend to me. Sometimes my brain will go in one direction, and you are very strong, and it's really beautiful how you've kind of always given me you know what I mean? You give me the answer. You don't give me the run around like some people do. And I love that. to keep my mind like corrected on the gratitude and on like the positivity of situations and just like the quick answer, you know. I love that. I love that about you. You're so powerful. I'm grateful for that so many times. Yeah, you are so strong, like embodying like just the masculine and the feminine collaboratively so beautifully. So thank you for all the work you've done on yourself and for sharing the stories too. I think that most healers we don't just start like that. We go through stuff and then we like want to heal ourselves, and then once we're able to start healing ourselves, we're like, ooh, how can we help others, you know? And then we also just attract people that also are like-minded or looking on the healing journey or to heal others and keep healing themselves, and it's such a beautiful journey. So I want to talk about I Love You Week. So I was one of the
I
first
love
people that
you.
Heidi told about this. Yes. And I was like jumping up and down when she told me that she wanted to do this. And it's just so amazing what she was able to put together. Unbelievable. And do you want to talk about what it was like and then what it's going to look like going forward a little bit?
Yeah. Yeah. So the I Love You week, that was a download moment that I received. And it was when I first like officially started my hypnotherapy business. I had this like download moment. And I was gonna like put it out there, like, you know, and I'm just like going, no, this needs to be not just me, because it's like an I Love You week, you know. And love creates so much more with collaborating with people. And so I wanted to get really, really clear with how this I Love You week was going to enter the world, like, you know, go out there into the universe and spread love far and wide, because that's the purpose of I Love You week. And when you spread love far and wide, you know, you do become the best version of yourself, and you're forever becoming that best version of yourself. And so the I Love You week, that was an amazing journey. It had a lot of ebbs and flows, many great challenges, but I would do it all again in a heartbeat. And so the I Love You week, we had over 20 practitioners and therapists over 7 days. I think there was about 28 sessions, and the sessions ran from I think half an hour to an hour and a half. You know, all different alternate holistic modalities. We had hypnotherapy, breath work, Reiki, dance, people speaking on there about love languages. We had you on there, Trish, sharing your beautiful story. We had the medicine wheel, we had mind spas, we had nutritionists. I'm just trying to think of all the incredible, beautiful ladies and men we had on that first I Love You week launch. It was just insane, and
So
like a
proud of
good
you.
insane.
I'm so proud of you for for pulling it off. And wow, like you had some incredible healers on there. Like wow, wow. And it's just I
Globally.
know.
Yeah.
P.S. P.S. Everyone, Heidi is in Australia. She's
I
yeah,
am an
it's just
Aussie, if you haven't worked out from the accent. Yeah.
amazing. I know. And I've seen her backyard with it's just amazing with the animals, and I love her dog, and she has a few of them now because she gave birth. Her dog is amazing. And the horses and the kids. She has the most beautiful kids you've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Yeah, sorry to go off on a tangent. I Love You week was amazing, and it was just so amazing to like watch you do it out of like the kindness of your heart, really, you know? And when you brought that to me in the first place, I said to myself, this is going to be such a big thing, and I'm sure you got this response a lot. Like, this is what the world needs, right? Like, I was like, I just kept thinking to myself, this is my friend. Like, I love you, week. Like, I know her, just like the purest intentions of like literally just making the world a better place. Doesn't get better than that, Miss Heidi. It doesn't get better than that. And
Mm.
so it's evolving a little bit, right? Well, I guess can people like download and from like the one over the summer? What month was that? July, August?
Oh, it was in August we did it.
Okay.
Yeah, August. So this, like, moving forward into 2023, looking at creating it a little bit different, but it's going to be an amazing different. And I don't want to give too much away, but there's going to be a 3-part series. So there's going to be 3 series with I'm hoping the same collaboration team from 2022 is going to jump on board and join, because I'm yet to put the creation out there and the new way it's going to be planned. But yeah, it's going to be a 3-part series. You're going to be able to work through this 3-part series at your own pace. So, because we all know everyone's healing journey is different. Some people move through it really, really quickly. Some people just need to just take their time, and, everyone's different the way that they receive information as well. So it's going to be designed so it can be self-paced. And then we're going to have an incredible just one day of all of us coming together, celebrating the I Love You week, and getting a snippet of what all of us practitioners and healers and therapists have to share. So I'm really, really excited.
Amazing.
Really, really excited for it.
Do you foresee that it'll be like at different locations everywhere one day? Because I could totally see, like, you know what I mean? Like having actual like events or like retreats or workshops like within I Love You week. Like I could see that. I don't know. I don't want to like say your dreams, but I could totally see that.
And see, that's the beautiful thing about love. Love is in many forms and can create in many forms. And I do dream of having workshops globally, and offering it to like all over the world, whether or not it's going to be called the I Love You week or a spin off it. You just have to wait and see, but that's where my heart is, to spread love far and wide, and for everyone to become the best versions of themselves.
Heidi, there's only a few people that I jump on with that my face hurts when I speak to them, and you're one of them. I'm just like smiling so big and genuinely. It's very rare, like where your ears kind of hurt. Or just like being so happy.
I always smile with you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you literally are such a truly genuine human being. Amazing. So, and where's your office? Can you share that? Or are you comfortable sharing that? Are people able to book appointments or online or
Yeah, so at the moment I'm actually sitting in my healing room at home. So I have a healing space at home, and I also work out of 2 healing centers locally here in like kind of my hometown. in Australia. But I work internationally because, you know, you and me, here we are on Zoom. And, you know, you and I both know sitting on a Zoom call, it's like sitting in one another's lounge rooms, like together. You know, so that's so, yeah. And I get up at all crazy hours in the morning. Like for me,
Yes,
I got
she
up at
does.
4:30 this morning to
Yes, she
jump
does.
on this call with you. Yeah. And I think I've even done some crazy hours for some clients overseas and gotten up at like 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning, you know, because they're flat chat working. Then I'm like, all right, we're going to get this session in. We're going to create this shift for you. Let's do it. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And hypnotherapy, NLP is just as effective, you know, online as it is in human to human, you know, face to face. So, yeah. And for me to be able to share that and say that, I say that wholeheartedly because I am a really kinesthetic person. So kinesthetic means like a real feeler. Like I need to physically touch people and give them a hug, you know, but I've learned over time, particularly, you know, the last couple of years that, yeah, being a kinesthetic person, you don't actually need to be sitting in the room with someone to like have that feeling, to hold that space within your heart. So,
like, especially over like lockdown and since then, like, you know, well, anyways, sometimes it's hard to find a healer in your local community or you've already gone to them and, you know, it's like, oh, how do I find somebody else? What else is out there? So that's like amazing that you do things online, you know, and you're able to find people that work for you online, you know, in person and online. And it's just amazing, like the opportunities that we have now. And I didn't even know what Zoom was prior to lockdown. So thank you, lockdown. So I never would have met Heidi and all the other amazing healers that I met over lockdown. We were just basically all like catapulted together. And sometimes I feel like inferior to like healers like Heidi because I'm just like more of like bring people together kind of a healer, you know, and just like set the example kind of healer. Like there's not one thing that I practice, but Heidi has like made me feel so comfortable being who I am. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, you've done a lot for me. You really have. Thank you. You've done a lot for me. Like words can't even comprehend. You've just shown me that I'm worthy of so much. And, you know, when you keep people around that believe in you and really see your worth, all of a sudden you start to believe it. So it's nice to have friends and healers and, you know, just people around that are super like positive mindseted and supportive. And not just supportive, like when you fall, but when you're lifted up, they want to bring you higher. And that is Heidi. She's both. Yeah. Well, I just love
thank
bombed you. I just
you.
love bombed you real quick, sister.
Thank you. But you know,
Yeah.
everything that you were just saying, I feel the same towards you.
Uh-huh.
You know, so we're mirroring one another here.
That's true. Isn't that how it goes?
Mm,
Aw.
yeah, yeah. A beautiful mirror, a beautiful mirror. You know, often like people are mirroring like their triggers. But you know, in this moment,
Yeah.
we're mirroring, yeah, our worthiness, our
Yeah.
beautifuln's. Yeah.
You've actually
Mm.
never triggered me yet, so that's kind of cool. I think we really are a lot alike. For some reason. I don't know. Yeah, you've never triggered me before. No, you just inspire me a lot. So thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. And you
Yeah,
inspire me too.
thank you. We're doing it, sister. So do you have any other
We
fun
are.
things that are coming up that you want to share about?
Oh, fun things.
Anything that's not
I'm actually in the process on creating like here in Australia, in my local town, some hypno magic workshops that's going to run once the kids go back to school, so the mums and the dads you know, can come together like once a week, once a fortnight, to work on themselves, you know, because there's a lot of people out there that want to work on themselves but feel too overwhelmed coming to like a one-on-one session, because you know, because the way I work is I'm not a surface cleaner. If you want to surface clean, I'm not that person for you. But if you're ready to dive deep and go into those root causes, I'm your girl. Because you know, that's where the healing truly does happen, and that's where you do become creating the best version of self, when you get right down to those root causes. And I find that there's so many people out there that are like in my community that want to, but they're surface cleaning, and they're wanting people there to hold their hands to go on the journey with them as well. You know, that's saying it's okay not to be okay. So I want to bring those like-minded people together to go on their healing journey, so they've got support there, people holding their hands, and they can dive deep within themselves and work with people doing it that are in the same similar situations. You know, because so much magic happens one-on-one, but so much magic happens in a group setting as well. So I'm just in the process on creating that, and I do plan on creating it online as well, so you know, it can reach people far and wide. So that's something I've got in the pipeline that's exciting.
That's amazing, Heidi. Yeah, because it's like, you know, when you're going through it, it's like you can't just always, well, you can have your therapist on speed dial, but it's so nice to have a community around you that's like, you're vulnerable when you're doing the work, and then you're able to have people to lean on and be like, hey, like I'm feeling like this, or like this came up, and like just healing and growing together. I love that so much. I'm very excited to hear about it and hear what else you do. I know, you know, I'm always going to be in the loop with that, because you're like, you know, one of my dear friends, but I'm really excited. And yeah, I'm definitely going to share Heidi's contact information, and she'll be on Healerverse too, obviously. And I'm so excited. Yeah. She's held my hand through all that too. So we've been doing it together. So super exciting. All her, like, you know, workshops, events, everything. Yeah. And I'll leave her contact info, and definitely I highly recommend setting up an appointment with her. And staying and following up what she's up to. She is amazing. And thank you so much for everything.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love talking to you, catching up with you.
Same. You're amazing. Thank you.